Hello again. This is Charles with the OSN Home. Today I'm going to be looking at, I've got a DR trimmer, and I'm going to be kind of working on, well, first I'm going to start off replacing the string in it, and then I'm going to work on doing some trimming around the property, just while I got a chance. And while the weather isn't too awfully hot, it's off and on been pretty hot around. Let me get started on this and I'll show you what I got. All right, so here we've got, this is my DR trimmer. It's what do we got? It's got a Briggs & Stratton engine, 163 cc. And so basically I've had this for maybe coming on about 2 years or so, but it really comes in handy when you're getting into some thicker weeds and things that, well, it's just a lot of times easier to use something like this rather than a heavier or this is a little heavier string rather than a weed eater, especially when you've got like a lot of fence line and things like that that you need to kind of take care of, or you're trying to take care of to keep mowed down and whatnot. But yeah, I'll kind of show you. I'm gonna replace this string, even though I could probably get more out of it. I already checked and there's basically no gas in the tank, so I'll lean it back to do this. So you've got the string here. Basically you put it in through this side, and this it comes out the middle, and then this side you push it in on this other side and it curves through and it comes out the middle, and you pull it tight and you basically fold it over this like top, it's called a little lip or a rung right there, and then as you pull it tight it kind of clamps down in there. And a lot of times I'll use like maybe some needle nose pliers or a screwdriver or something, just to kind of push it down there a little bit tighter as I'm pulling, just to give it a little bit more extra force. But so yeah, you do that, one on each side. That gives you your string. And so yeah, I mean, like I said, I've got a little bit of time here before I really have to. I might actually wait. That's longer than what I was really thinking it was. But I've got some more string here to replace each side with. They do recommend that you cut the ends of these at kind of an angle. Let me get them in frame here. Kind of an angle, because they are easier to feed through here if they are cut at an angle. And so, that's just, I've definitely found that to be true. It does make it easier. But yeah, this thing, I mean, I know there are heavier duty models of the DR trimmer, but this has definitely shown to work pretty well for me. I've been happy with it so far with what it does. And whenever you've got like a heavier type of area or either weeds or whatever that need to be, or maybe sometimes it's like saplings, really small trees that are starting to grow, when you need to take some of that stuff out just to make sure it doesn't grow any bigger, this is a good option for that, because because of the thicker string that it has. So yeah, I'm gonna probably just leave these as it is for now, and just fill it up with gas and get started with it. And I'll make sure and show it whenever I do change this out. This may not last for everything I need to do today. So yeah, I might be changing this out here in just a little bit. All right, so I've got a pretty good area here that I need to get cleared off. I know I don't have the safety equipment. Usually you would think about when you're using power equipment, but it's hot, like I said, hot, humid. But I'm gonna get this thing started up, and I'm just gonna kind of show you how well it works, and you know, we'll just kind of go from there. So we're back in the garage. We're taking a little pause. I am going to go ahead and change out that string and just kind of show you how I do it real quick. Really nothing too no big deal. Let me make sure I can kind of have this on frame here. But I've got two strings exactly the same size as what and type as what I'm replacing. I'm going to basically cut both of these at kind of an angle, just so it has kind of a sharp starting point to be able to thread the needle, basically. Gonna try and get this. These are not that sharp anymore. All right, so we've got them kind of sort of to a little bit of a sharper edge. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna take some needle nose pliers. I'm gonna pull out what's left of this string. Kind of sort of slowly work at it till I get out of here. Slowly. What's left of it? Same way. There we go. Alright, so next we're going to start. We're going to feed this through. I'm going to kind of lean you in here a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So push it in the middle, or the side, I'm sorry. It comes out the middle. I'm not going to the bottom, I'm going the second one up. There we go, second one up. And so I'm going to actually adjust this a bit, and I might have to, if I can use my foot to just kind of hold it. That's really what I need, just hold it still. So you just kind of shove it in there, little by little. There it is, comes out the middle. Then you do the opposite side over here. To cut that side, so hold on. That's what my problem is. You gotta cut your angles. There it is. All right, so cut the little bit of an angle. Makes it easier to get started. Things down here so you can see. Tell you what, I don't have a good setup here. It's gonna start coming through there. Problem is that's trying to turn. Son of a. All right. Well, we are gonna hold on just a second there. Let me just set you back here. Let me use two hands. This is gonna be a whole lot easier. Hold this. Hold that. There we go. All right. So let's see. Is that on camera? All right. So I got both sides coming through the middle now. And so if you see how I did that, each side went through the holes on the side. They go in there and then just curve through the middle, come back out. And try and get those kind of matched up, about the same length, keep it even. And then you're gonna basically slowly pull those out while also pushing this up. Let's walk around this top lip. And a lot of times I will use the needle nose for this just to kind of get down in there a little bit easier. And my fat fingers all right. So that's that side basically. So we've got it locked down up here now. Hold it tight, and so now let's do the other side same way. Go, you can watch. There's round. So I've got one side cut, this side. Bada bing, bada boom. Alright, so that's that. I'm gonna get situated. I'm gonna head down to this far side of my property over here and kind of knock down. I've got a lot of tall weeds and stuff. There's a big stack of cinder blocks and things from the former owner, but I'm gonna go and knock all the weeds and things that are down around over there. So anyway, we'll get back to that. Now that I've got a mic that actually works, I'm going to kind of let you see some of this area. You know, I've got a lot of weeds and stuff, and kind of along this fence line, this corner. I'm not going to worry so much about that. But all along through here, I want to kind of get all that area, and then maybe move the camera down here a little bit. And I've got some other areas I need to work on as well. And so we'll just we'll see how far we get on this new string that I just changed out. All right, so I got a pretty good section done there, uh, from, I don't know, about midway down there, and up through some of this long stuff here, and uh, you know, all through there. Of course, some of that tall stuff on the other side of the fence. Of course, I'm not going to mess with that. Uh, that's my neighbor's property. But, the main thing is just to get the part that's on my side, get all that taken care of. Uh, I did get hung up over here in some barbed wire that I didn't see, but Christ is averted there, so I was just able to stop it, kill the engine, and unwind it by hand actually, so it wasn't too bad. So that's pretty much about it for right now. All right, guys, let me get on frame here. Sweating like a freaking like a prostitute in church, I think, something like that. Anyways, boy, it's hot here today. I don't know about where y'all live at, but Southwest Missouri, hot and humid today. Anyway, so I've got this big old like thorn bush here. I'm gonna see how much of it I can maybe knock back a little bit. I know some of the bigger pieces are pretty thick around, but yeah, I'm gonna see what I can do. Anyway, we'll take a look here. Might put you on time lapse again. All right. So that's about as far as I was able to get. I actually am surprised at how well it cut some of that stuff down. Uh, the string was getting kind of shorter and shorter, and but I mean, I was shoving this TR trimmer in further than I would want to go. So all I can say is this thing, you're worth your weight in gold to me today. But uh, yeah, basically I ran it till I think all the string came off or wore off. I'm gonna roll it back, see how it looks. Yeah, basically it's wore all the way back to there, and so is that one. So anywho, that's that. Looks like we are getting some possibly storms rolling in. I mean, definitely that's off to the south of us there. This is over to the west of us. Here's the thunder. Yeah, we're kind of downhill. If you can get any kind of an idea of uh, up where our house is compared to down where we are, and then down that direction about 10 acres or so. This is about the corner of my property right there. But 10 acres past that way is the James River. So we're pretty close. So we're pretty well down in the river valley. But yeah, basically, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. I ended up doing a little bit more than what I thought I was going to. It's like sometimes you have the equipment down here and you're, uh, getting so much done and making good progress, you kind of hate to stop. So I just decided to keep going until my string had run out. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there before I start getting, well, maybe going past this. I'm not sure. Anyhow, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks for watching.